Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Higurashi. So, we're going to continue our kidnapping spree, assumedly. Already kidnapped our sister, killed our grandmother, and captured uncle person, or whoever this guy is. And I've also been told that his name is not Kimiyashi, it is Kimiyoshi, and that I've been saying it wrong. I'm vaguely aware of the name, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. So I will do my best to avoid doing that from now on. And last we left off, the village was looking for Kimiyoshi. Kimiyoshi, dang it. Kimiyoshi. And apparently we were going to go help them look, which I just find incredibly sinister. So let's see what becomes of Kimiyoshi. Sorry, I was busy torturing my uncle. Oh, it's not even uncle, right? They just call it uncle, I think.
寝たの3時くらいだからね。眠い。
3時？おいおい、夜更かしにも限度ってもんがあるぞ。大方、漫画の単行本が面白くなっちゃって、一巻から読破してしまったんだろう。俺にも経験があるぞ。
あれ、ひょっとして村長さんのこと？まだ見つかってないの？
I went to the Furude Shrine to join the youth group in their search for the mayor. Since I knew there was no way he would be found, it was really boring for me. Well, just enduring sleepiness wasn't that bad. Not if you consider what Kimiyoshi had to go through since last night. He'd been hanging from the ceiling and couldn't even fall asleep or sit down, since he had to stay on tiptoes the whole time. I'm sure he's loving this. The teacher explained to us that the mayor had gone missing, and asked us if we knew anything. A couple of people said some things, but they were irrelevant. To me, this issue meant nothing, but it was all my classmates were talking about. I observed Keiichi Maibara. I had no idea if any type of danger was drawing closer to him. Maybe I'd call him again tonight, pretending to be Shion. I told him some outrageous stuff last night, so he panicked. But I was sure he'd calm down after a day. At that time, I heard a little girl's laughter. It was Rika Furude, the last survivor of the Furude family, and their current head. However, she wasn't really treated as one. During the family councils, she'd often draw pictures or take a nap in the hag's bed. She wasn't even invited to last night's meeting. It was hard to believe such a little girl was responsible for part of the curse system. However, even though she wasn't in a respected position as the head of the Furude family, there were plenty of old people who worshipped her as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. I'd heard from someone that Rika Furude was rather odd, and seemed to behave as if she knew that she was that reincarnation. Maybe Takano-san had told me that at the library when she was alive. When Rika Furude became worried about something, the elderly people who worshipped her would make arrangements. It was very similar to the Sonozaki family, and it was also the same system as used for the curse. I wonder, does Rika Furude know anything about the deaths of Takano-san and Tomitake-san? What does she think of people sneaking into the ritual storehouse? Does she know who snuck in, and what happened to those people? As the one managing the storehouse, it was possible that she noticed the intruders first. In fact, she was the only one who could have noticed it. She must have passed on that information, which is why the curse was executed. That foolish Keiichi turned the light on when we went into the ritual storehouse. That light switch could have been connected to some kind of alarm. Rika Furude, the leader of the Furude family. Maybe getting to know her would be a good idea.
Furude家当主として今回の件はどこまで知ってるの？
I asked her rather directly. It was hard to tell if she understood I was asking her in place of the Sonozaki family head, instead of as Mion Sonozaki.
富武たちのことですか？
Okay, but this was... Okay, now I'm thinking back. This is the story where she says, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. And then I think she ends up dead at the end, right? I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I don't know. I've clearly gotten mixed up on some of this stuff. In fact, I kind of think that someone answered my question from before and I just didn't look at it. Hold on a second. Okay, so the Shion laughing thing on the phone isn't until later. I'm wondering if it's in this section, or it might be in a future one, but it should be in this, like, timeline, so to speak. In fact, reading further down in the comment, she still has one phone call where she tells Keiichi she told everything to Kimiyoshi, and then the next one is when Keiichi realized she couldn't have told him and calls her lie. Someone else said Chapter 2, Episode 25, Part 1. Okay. I think that's where we were last time. Sorry, I've not been meaning to miss comments. I've just been kind of busy lately. But yeah, I think that's most of what I needed from that. So it looks like we're probably going to call him this time. And then I think in next chapter is the one where she calls him and does the maniacal, Shion Mion laugh thing. Maybe. Anyway, Rika answered. The news hadn't been made public, yet she knew about it. Although she looks immature, perhaps she truly was the head of the Furude family.
お社様のたたりなのですよ。
そんなのは分かってるよ。ならまだ終わってないよね。あと2人残っている。その2人はどうなるか聞いてる？
I tried to be vague, to see how Rika Furude would react even. I'd been thinking that she had nothing to do with the underside of Hinamizawa, since she was always treated like a child. However, Rika just said things about the incident which normal people shouldn't know anything about. That proved she belonged to the underside's network.
別にどうでもいいと思いますですよ。
She answered the question about Tomitaki-san and Takano-san fairly quickly, but took a little longer to answer this time. Did she have to think about it? The look on her face never changes. It's impossible to figure out what she's thinking.
どうでもいいってことはないでしょ。それじゃあけじめにならないのは分かってる？
僕はちゃんと反省したならそれでいいと思いますです。
Her response was unexpected, especially after seeing all the old people get so furious last night. To trespass in the ritual storehouse was blasphemy against Oyashiro-sama. The village elders had said these intruders deserved to die. Yet the leader of the Furude family, who protected the sacred storehouse for ritual implements, said that if they felt remorse for it, then it was fine. I recalled how people thought of Rika Furude's father during the dam conflict. Yes, her father was called an opportunist back then. He didn't agree with Onigafuchi guardians who had resisted violently during the conflict. Like father, like daughter. Whoa, I aggressively grabbed Rika Furude by the collar.
はあ？何をひよったことを言ってんだか。フルデ家は先代もあんたもつくづく甘ったるいね。あんたたちフルデ家が西宮殿がいかに神聖で不可侵な聖域か一番理解してなくちゃならないんだよ。そのフルデ家の仮にも当主が何を甘ったるいことを言ってるわけ。
I laughed at myself. I was told the same thing by someone else and was now saying it to Rika.
西宮殿を犯した罪がどれほどの大罪か理解してないわけじゃないんでしょ。
西宮殿はお社様の大切な場所なのです。勝手に入ったりとかしちゃダメなとこなのです。
分かってるじゃない。そこに汚れを持ち込んだんだよ、あの4人は。
悪い猫さんなのです。にゃー。
そうだね、悪い猫だ。2匹は捕まえてお仕置きした。
Oh yeah, and she was talking about the cat thing to Keiichi, and he's like, what? What are we talking about?
あと2匹いる。
にゃー。
Yeah.
どうけじめをつけるべきだろうね。古出家当主のご意見を聞かせてよ。
Rika didn't usually wear any expression whatsoever, making it impossible to tell what she was thinking. But while I grabbed her by the collar and stared at her, I could tell somehow. Rika was a little disturbed. I sensed she was trying to see what I was thinking in turn.
僕は2匹の猫さんは許してあげたいです。
それでけじめになると思ってんの？
けじめって言葉が僕にはよくわからないです。
ああ、いい質問だね。じゃあお勉強しよう。けじめってのはね、罪をあがなうってことなの。罪は残せない。お社様のお怒りを放置することになるんだからね。だから罪の大きさに比例したけじめで罪を清めなければならないの。わかるよね？
お社様は別に西宮殿を見られても怒らないのですよ。
はあ？あんた何言ってんの？
あの中を見ちゃダメなのは、あの中に怖い道具がいっぱいあるからなのです。見るときっと怖がる人もいると思いますのです。だから誰にも見せないようにしてあるのですよ。見た人もきっと怖かったと思います。だから反省してると思いますのです。
反省してるから許されるって、あんたが決めることじゃないでしょ。それはお社様が決めること。
僕はお社様の巫女ですよ。
そんなことは知ってるよ。じゃあ何さ、あんたはお社様に怒ってませんよって直接声を聞いて確認したとでも言うわけ？
Rika nodded yes, without hesitation. I can't believe the lie she's coming up with. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked.
あんたら古出家がそんなざまだから、あんたの両親は一昨年のたたりで死んじゃったんだよ。お社様に仕える資格がないとお怒りを受けてね。それであんたの父親をたたり殺したんだよ。
お社様はそんなことしないのです。お父様はお社様のたたりで死んだんじゃないのです。
こんなのが最後の古出家の巫女だとはね。お社様が心を安らかにできないのがよくわかるよ。お社様をお祭りする古出家の人間でありながら嘆かわしい。
ミーが何を怒っているのか僕にはよくわからないのですよ。
I realized she was in a position to know as much as the other two family heads. As proof, she talked about this year's incident as though it was nothing. Yet she could feign ignorance with a serious face. She sure is something. She's even better than me. Slap! I slapped her a few times and pushed her to the floor. Rika, having tumbled downward, looked up at me with tears in her eyes.
そもそもあんたが西宮殿の鍵が重いから簡単なものに付け替えたいって言い出したのが事の発端なんだよね。
そうですよ。硬くて僕では大変だったので、君吉に相談して簡単な鍵に付け替えてもらったのです。
あんたがその程度の手間を惜しまず頑丈な世情をそのまま残していたなら、西宮殿への侵入を許さなかったかもしれない。今回の一件はあんたにも責任の一端があるんだからね。それを忘れない方がいいよ。もちろん あんたと一緒に鍵を付け替えた君吉家当主にも責任があるんだけどね。
That last part was something I added on a whim. I added it to connect Rika's story to the disappearance of Kimiyoshi. I wanted to pressure her psychologically by doing so.
君吉家当主はけじめをつけてもらうことになった。だから消えた。古出家当主にもけじめをつけてもらうことになるよ。
Rika was still on the floor, tears pouring down her cheeks.
あと残ってるのは前原圭一だけ。こいつは古出家の方で頼むことにする。
僕は何もわかんないのですよ。
別にあんたは分かんなくてもいいでしょ。憂慮したり困った顔をするだけでいいんだから。それはうちも同じ。とにかく頼んどくよ。
そんなの。
Rika hung her head. She seemed to want to say something, but she was afraid that I might be rough with her again. I doubted Rika Furude was actually at the top of the curse system, like the hag was. However, as one of the three family heads, she was a lot closer to the underside of Hinamizawa than I was. By now, that underside was well aware of Keiichi Maibara. I told the elderly leaders of the village yesterday in the meeting that Keiichi Maibara was the last one remaining. I just told the head of the Furude family the same thing. If threateningly. If my threat was effective, the curse of Oyashiro-sama should very soon fall upon Keiichi Maibara. And at just the right time, I would grab my enemy right as he took my bait. If the assassin came from the Furude family, this girl would have committed the same sin as the hag. When that time came, I wouldn't hold back. I was going to make sure she suffered, and then kill her. I've heard of a torture technique where you pound dozens of nails into a victim's finger. That sounds awful. I already found a restraining table and the tools for it. When the time comes, I'll pound nails into your fingers. That gruesome anticipation radiated from my eyes and scared Rika even further. Yeah, that sounds pretty awful. I don't know, why you would want to do that. I wonder how Kimiyoshi's doing. He dead yet? I doubt he died from tiptoeing all night, but sometimes a human can go very easily. He already told me everything I wanted to hear, and he doesn't know anything else anyway. On top of that, he was responsible for spreading the infection that was the curse system of Oyashiro-sama. His sins are very heavy. I really liked Uncle Kimiyoshi. He had always been kind. The hag was so tough on her relatives, and that's why he was extra nice to me. When we talked yesterday, I was so happy to hear him say that he would forgive Shion. He even said he would fight the hag to save her. That made me very happy. Don't worry. If Shion-chan feels bad about what she's done, she won't be demoned away. Leave it to me. I felt such warmth inside of me. I almost shivered. I was so happy, yet so very sad. For he continued to say that Satoshi-kun deserved to die. He said those nice things because he wanted to make me unhappy, since she was worried about Shion. Satoshi-kun deserved to die because he was a member of the cursed Hojo family, but Shion-chan of the Sonozaki family did not. That's what he meant. In other words, to the leaders of the village, including Kimiyoshi, members of the Hojo family are more contemptible than insects. They didn't care if they lived or died. Their sin was not only that they despised the Hojo family so, but also that they let... Oh, phone calls! Hold on a second. Anyway, their sin was not that they despised the Hojo family so, but also that they let the hatred infect the rest of the village. Therefore, everyone in the village deserves to be a victim of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Kimiyoshi and the others created an environment that excused murder in that name. If that was so, if Takano-san and Tomitake-san hadn't committed the serious crime of trespassing in the ritual storehouse, then Satoko Hojo, the last survivor of the Hojo family, and Teppei Hojo, who we've not seen up until now, who's been hiding in Okinamiya, might have been the victims. Satoko Hojo. She was always around Satoshi-kun. She expected Satoshi-kun to help her every time she cried. She was one of the people who cornered him. If Satoko wasn't that much of a burden, Satoshi-kun wouldn't have killed his aunt. Somebody told Satoshi-kun to commit that murder, and to hide the evidence of his connection to the mastermind. Satoshi-kun was demoned away. That's what Oishi thought. If Satoshi-kun hadn't killed his aunt, maybe he wouldn't have been chosen as last year's victim. Because the commands were vague after all, the curse of Oyashiro-sama fell upon the Hojo family as a whole. It didn't matter which member of the family died. His aunt had a terrible reputation in the neighborhood. She didn't communicate with her neighbors. She was always throwing fits, and there was nothing nice about her in any way. Even if Satoshi-kun didn't kill her, the curse would have fallen upon her sooner or later. Their aunt was the first victim. There needed to be another Hojo to calm the curse. According to a rumor, their uncle was living somewhere in Okinamiya with his lover. However, Okinamiya was a little different from Hinamizawa. The Sonozaki family was powerful there as well, of course, but it would have been more difficult in Okinamiya to demon someone away. So naturally, Satoshi-kun and Satoko, who were still in Hinamizawa, became the targets. Which one should be cursed? That was simple. Satoko, of course. She was snobby and lacking in manners. Everyone in the neighborhood liked Satoshi-kun, even if he was the son of the Hojo couple who betrayed the village during the dam conflict. Compared to Satoko, he didn't deserve to die. Therefore, the actual victims of last year's curse should have been his aunt and Satoko. Satoshi-kun was suddenly all alone. His mean aunt and mean uncle were gone. His sister, who was a burden to him all his life, was gone too. Satoshi-kun was such a nice person. He would be sad, although he'd realize he was finally free. But time would heal him. I'd even help. He didn't have to live in his house in Hinamizawa. There were plenty of empty rooms in the apartment block where I lived. I could find him a part-time job too. He didn't need to go to school in Hinamizawa. He could go to school with me in Okinamiya instead. He wouldn't know his way around, or really anything about the school there. So I'd be with Satoshi-kun all the time. I'd show him a shortcut to school. We'd go shopping, and I'd teach him many different things. What an unbelievably happy ending. Satoshi-kun had been suffering so much, and I had been pushed away all my life. But we would finally be happy. I enjoyed these sweet delusions, but I didn't have any more time to waste. I was sure there were plenty of old people who had been trying to get a hold of Oryu all morning, and who were going to try to catch me after I got home from school. Actually, the phone had been ringing constantly while I enjoyed my happy thoughts. When I answered the phone, I casually listened and replied. As I planned, Keiichi Maibara is now known as the next cursed victim within the underside of Hinamizawa. I also tried to let them know that the disappearance of the village chief had something to do with the fact that he changed the lock on the ritual storehouse's door. All the authorities in the underside came to realize the seriousness of trespassing in the storehouse. After all, one of the heads of the three families got punished. One of the phone calls was from Oishi. He'd also heard about Kimiyoshi's disappearance, and he knew it had something to do with the changing of the lock. I'm impressed. He has some pretty good sources. But all he can do is catch whatever information he can get. There's no way for him to find out where it's coming from. I'd call Keiichi Maibara again later tonight. Some of the more aggressive villagers may have already started to take action around him. I'm sure that by now, Keiichi's feeling the danger that's coming towards him. I'd have to be careful that he doesn't get killed easily. If I can catch the enemy before they bit Keiichi, I can use him again as bait. Keiichi Maibara. I haven't known him for that long. He's funny, if not intelligent. He'll never replace Satoshi-kun, but I do think he's fun to be around. There's just one thing I don't like about him. He rubs my head far too often. His hand is as warm as Satoshi-kun's hand, which is why I can't stand it. But that's about it. Keiichi Maibara isn't Satoshi-kun's enemy. I don't hate him. He's fun to be around. But I wouldn't shed a tear for him if he became a victim of the curse. I won't prevent Keiichi Maibara from being killed, but I won't kill him myself either. I'd made arrangements for the curse to fall upon him, but I never told anyone to kill him. Well, I suppose I did tell Rika Furude to take care of Keiichi Maibara. Wait a minute. To avenge Satoshi-kun, I'm doing exactly the same thing as the hag did. I'm using the exact same system that killed Satoshi-kun. Keiichi Maibara. I'm just using him. I told people to let the curse fall upon Keiichi, but I've been giving him appropriate warnings. I'm going to help him if he tries to live. If I catch all of my enemies, maybe I'll let him loose. He's different from Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun was tricked into killing his aunt, and was killed himself afterwards so there wouldn't be any evidence remaining. I won't kill Keiichi Maibara. That's how I'm different from the hag. I'm not a bad person. She is. Evening was turning to night. I had to get dinner ready. I had to eat so I'd have enough strength to take revenge. This place was far from the town. It would even get isolated during winter because of the snow. It's not unusual for a household like this to have 2 or 3 refrigerators. There were plenty of groceries left in them. I was glad I didn't have to go grocery shopping. I could hear the chorus of the Higurashi. People often say that the sound of the Higurashi brings back memories. But for me, it's the exact opposite. I've only ever heard the sound of the Higurashi in Hinamizawa. Therefore, the sound of the Higurashi, to me, is Hinamizawa. The sound reminded me that I wasn't supposed to be here. That I couldn't be here. That was when I heard the doorbell. Because there was a good distance between the house and the gate, there was both a doorbell and an intercom by the latter. It had a security camera too. Something as modern as a security camera monitor in this old-fashioned kitchen looked rather strange. I turned the switch, but nothing appeared on the monitor. I tried to check the plug, but there were a bunch of cords going behind the refrigerator, so I couldn't even do that. The doorbell continued to ring while I tried to figure out if the monitor was broken, or if I just didn't know how to turn it on. I only felt like answering the door depending on who it was. It'd normally be easier to pretend to be out, but that wouldn't help me. I was waiting for my enemies to show up. I couldn't just hide myself in that case. The hag was supposed to be sick, and in an extremely bad mood. I'd already sent word out that she didn't want to see anyone. So who could it be? I made up my mind, and turned the intercom on. If it was someone unwanted, I could just turn whoever it was away. but I had to act normally so I wouldn't arouse suspicion. I had to act normally.
はい、どちら様でしょう。
こんにちはなのです。
Oh good, now we can offer, no one will know. She didn't tell me her name, but I recognized her voice.
リカちゃんか。どうしたの？
Hold on. This is the section, if I remember right, where Rika goes to, like, borrow some soy sauce, I think? And then she never comes back. I'm pretty sure that's the section.
こんな時間に。
実は
Yep, there we go.
お醤油を分けてもら
Okay.
いに来たのです。
I know where we're at. Excellent. Soy sauce? I almost screamed, but I controlled myself. I took a moment to think about the situation. Can I have a cup of sugar? Hinamizawa was far from most stores, so sometimes neighbors would share seasoning and stuff with each other. The village sometimes got snowed in during winter, but the Furude shrine was quite far from this house. It was rather odd for her to come all this way here on her bicycle, just to get some soy sauce. Maybe she was using it as an excuse. Maybe there was something she wanted to talk to me about. That was when I noticed a piece of paper that was on the refrigerator door next to the intercom. We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some. The hag must have given that flyer to everyone. One of our relatives sent her a barrel of soy sauce. If you want some, bring a container. That's what the flyer said. I see. This would explain it. There was a handwritten note on the bottom of the flyer. The soy sauce is in the storage area under the floor. That's rather convenient that all this is written down. Give them as much as they want. There is a storage area beneath the floor. Excuse me, just choking to death over here. When I opened it, I saw a barrel of soy sauce, alongside a funnel and a ladle. I didn't want Rika to notice anything suspicious at this point. I decided to share the soy sauce with her.
いいよ。入れるものは持ってきてるの？
お醤油の瓶を持ってきましたのです。
オッケー。勝手に入ってきていいよ。玄関で待ってる。
As I headed there, I heard the doorbell ring again.
みー、内側から閉まってて、門が入れないのですよ。
ああ、そうだった。ごめん。今開けに行くよ。待ってて。
Suspicious. People didn't pay much attention to safety here around in Hinamizawa. People didn't think too much about locking the doors. But as someone who's lived in a town, I've always locked everything. To let Rika Furude in, I'd have to go outside.